create a new configuration. And I'm going to go to Devices and then Hardware Configuration Wizard. Create a new configuration. We're going to add our Jenoptik camera. And I'm going to call it Jenoptik Camera instead of DigSDK. So now we're going to add the microscope. So it's under Demo Camera, and then you can add like peripherals from the camera. So we're going to call this microscope instead of camera because it makes more sense. And then we're going to add the filter wheel, and we're going to add the objective. The filter wheel is for the dichroics. We haven't got a filter wheel. And now we're going to change the name of these to help line up better. So we'll call this dichroics. And we'll call this objective. Okay, so now we're just going to click next, 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 and then we're going to label our dichroics. And do the same for the objectives. Now we have our camera loaded and the hardware set up. So if I was to take a snap, we get the image output from the camera. Now we're going to add a group for every single fluorophore / dichroic that we've got on the microscope. So I'm going to add the DAPI one. So put the group name as DAPI, and then we're going to put whatever parameters we're going to change between each of the groups. So between DAPI and GFB, you're most likely wanting to change the exposure, the gain, maybe the contrast. So I'm just going to put exposure for now. This is in milliseconds. And then I'm going to add the dichroic label and the objective label because we're going to want to change these, add a preset for each of the different objectives. And then we're going to click OK. So now you can see we've got it here. I'm going to put the 10x PH1 as the preset name and click OK. So now we can see it there. And now what I'm going to do is create the group for every other dichroic in there. So now we've got our 10x preset for each of them. We can click on, say, CY3, and we can add another preset. So now we're going to add 40x PH1, and then we're going to change the name to CY3, and then click the 40x PH1. You get the idea of what we're doing. And then the same for CY5. We've manually gone into the configuration file and entered the values for each group. It's much easier to do this than it is to be in the UI of Micromanager. It does mean that you can add a lot more combinations to it. Just make sure you don't duplicate any of the labels, because then you'll cause some issues. So you don't want to say, for example, have phase 2 or anything like that, because otherwise it will cause mismatches. So what we're going to do is save this configuration, and now we're going to open it up. Now we can see we have the presets, so we can click on any of them here throughout. What we're going to do is calibrate our objectives. So to start off with, let's just create the objectives. So we'll click New, and the only thing we care about is the objective label. So we'll just put 10x PH1, and we'll just give it a pixel size of 1 for now. Click OK, and I'll repeat this for the rest of the objectives. And now we're going to tie them up, so this should be 40x pH1, just checks the 10x is in the correct position. It's not, so we'll click the 10x. And then we'll go to the 40x, edit, do the same thing. And then we'll go to the 63x, edit, OK, and then click 63x. And then close. So now if I was to click the different values there, we should see that our sizing has changed. So this means that when we capture an image, it will be correctly calibrated. Okay, so now what we've got to do is actually calibrate the image. So now I've calibrated all of my images. If I go up or down the list, we can see that the image size changes as per the current objective state. So now if I wanted to change the exposure time, I can simply just adjust it here for this specific objective. So now it means that if I was to change the objective, I would not only have the right size, but I can get the right exposure. So now if I were to snap this image, we can see we have 2,744 microns, which is about 2.7. And we can see we've got roughly 0.7. So this is correct. And now what you can do is export that to image J, and it's got the correct sizings on it. And if you were to export it as a TIFF, it would be the same thing.